Life on the road was rough for a woman in the early days. Playing towns where no one's gone before. 6 kids and a booming voice, her hands gripped the microphone. She would sing till the wee hours of the morning. A mother during the day, and at night she would play. She was a mother and a daughter and a sister and a friend. Loved her husband and her children. She played in a country band. She sang those songs that would capture a certain piece of our heart. And her music's in me. I remember a time as a little boy up at the cabin in the woods, catching fish, picking berries. We'd make jam later on that night. Oh, life was good. We would watch the stars as they glowed in the sky. And sometimes she'd let us stay away and watch the sunrise. She was a mother and a daughter and a sister and a friend. Loved her husband and her children. She played in a country band. She sang those songs that would capture a certain piece of our hearts. And her music's in me. Now the years go by, but her music still lives on. I think of her every time.
Hello, folks, and welcome to this very special edition of NL Now. This episode is going to feature some stories and songs from a person who has been called Newfoundland's First Lady of Song, Miss Joan Morrissey. Here with us now is Joan's son, Tom, who has a few months back done a tour of our province with songs from Joan Morrissey. Hello, Tom. Thanks for coming in with us today.
Hi, Gary.
So now, Tom, tonight we decided to do a show totally committed to your mom, Joan. First off, can you tell us about the early days of your mom, like before music came to be an important part of her life?
Well, Mom always sang, actually. I mean, I believe she was singing since she was 6 years old and appeared on CBC on a contest at 9 and won it and became the Newfoundland sweetheart of singing. And from there, she, you know, other than working a few odd jobs here and there when she was 16 at a grocery store, I believe, or something like that, I'm not sure. And she's been singing ever since, so most of her life has been music.
So where did your family and your mom grow up?
Mom grew up on the south side, and Dad grew up in Flat Rock. And then we grew up in Mount Pearl. So when Mom and Dad got married and they had my 5 other sisters and myself, we lived in Mount Pearl.
So was your mom's side of the family musical?
A lot of her brothers are. She had a big family. She had, I believe, 11 brothers and sisters, or maybe 12. I don't know. My goodness, maybe 13 or 14. There were a lot of them. And they, my Uncle Sam played fiddle and banjo and mandolin, and a lot of them played, accordion and guitar and all that stuff.
So where do you think her passion from music came from, her and desire to write and perform songs about Newfoundland and Labrador?
I think her passion for music came from when she heard Patsy Cline, that she really wanted to do it as a professional. And then writing about Newfoundland, well, the politics of Newfoundland, if you listen to a lot of her songs, they were a lot of them were about the politicians at the time, the Joey Smallwoods and the Steve Nearys and the John Crosbys, and she'd make fun of them. Like if they were making bad decisions with the government, she'd call them out.
Speaking of Joan's songs, why don't you go over to our live music set and perform one for us? Okay, folks, here to sing Joan Morrissey's The Mobile Goat. Please welcome Tom Morrissey.
Have you heard the story of the mobile goat on the grand old southern shore? On the lovely Isle of Newfoundland, where goats don't roam no more. It's about a man named Dylan, whose cursing was of note, and how he was digging for spuds one day when he spoke to the mobile goat. Now the goat was stealing Dylan's spuds for 20 years or more. Every time he saw him, Dylan cursed and raged and swore. He was digging hard in his field this time. The goat was chewing away near a great big 6-foot granite rock when Dylan heard him say, "Are you digging 'em, Dylan? Are you digging 'em deep? Are you piling 'em, Dylan, in a great big heap?" "Oh, I'm digging 'em," says Dylan, "not enough to fill me boat, and I'd be digging 'em more if it wasn't for you, you rotten stinking goat. Yeah, I'd be digging 'em more if it wasn't for you, you rotten stinking goat." Now Dylan got the fright of his life when he knew what just took place, and he said to the good Lord, says the devil himself, "Come snatch me from your grace. Come take me for my sacrilege and my rotten life of sin." And he ran like that down the hill to home, and the goat just fixed right in. Well, they say it was a priest just passing by when he heard old Dylan curse on the goat and the spuds and the Lord above for making all things worse. Just to hush the roars at the heavens above, he thought he'd bid good day. And as he passed that garden fence, the good priest he did say, "Are you digging 'em, Dylan? Are you digging 'em deep? Are you piling 'em, Dylan, in a great big heap?" "Oh, I'm digging 'em," says Dylan, "but not enough to fill me boat, and I'd be digging 'em more if it wasn't for you, you rotten stinking goat. And I'd be digging 'em more if it wasn't for you, you rotten stinking goat." Well, you could never tell Dylan was the priest who spoke when he heard old Dylan curse on the goat and the spuds and the Lord above for making all things worse. And to this day in Mobile, on the grand old southern shore, there's 1,000 who believe that goats broke out when Dylan swore. Are you digging 'em, Dylan? Are you digging 'em deep? Are you piling 'em, Dylan, in a great big heap? Oh, I'm digging 'em, says Dylan, not enough to fill me boat, and I'd be digging 'em more if it wasn't for you, you rotten stinking goat. And I'd be digging 'em more if it wasn't for you, you rotten stinking goat.
Back to the show. So we're here again with Tom Morrissey because this is our NL Now tribute to Joan Morrissey show. So welcome back again, Tom.
How you doing, Gary?
Good. So what can you tell us about the song you just performed?
The Mobile Goat. Well, it's about a priest, a guy named Dylan, and a goat. And the guy named Dylan, and now the lyrics for that song, the original, are almost, I believe, 300 years old. And Mom and Tom Cowell, who was her producer at the time, they revamped the lyrics. And the story is about this guy who's digging for spuds, and the goat keeps stealing them, and he keeps using foul language to try and get the goat away. And the priest heard him, so the priest hid behind a rock and decided to pretend the goat was talking just to scare him, so he wouldn't swear anymore.
Well, so how many albums did your mom release throughout the years?
Mom did 5 albums, well, 4 albums and 1 greatest hits. I believe she was working on 1 more, but she didn't finish it. But yeah, she had 5 albums, Heading Eastbound, her first country album. I do believe there was Live at the Admiral's Keg, and the Greatest Hits album, and then of course Homebrew, which was the one that she got nominated for a Juno and got a gold record for.
So were all albums recorded here in Newfoundland and Labrador?
The one at the Admiral's Keg was recorded, which was in St. John's in, I believe, the Newfoundland Hotel. But the rest of them were recorded up in Toronto because the record companies wanted I guess, the control of recording it. I wish she had done them here, because then she would have, all of them would have been done in Newfoundland. But that's not how they did it then. So
can you tell us a bit about her band? Did she always have the same group of folks behind her, and do you remember who they were?
I do remember some of them. Some of the people that played, I believe Rocky Wheeseltin played on some of the songs, and Ralph Walker was a piano player on some of her later stuff. Her main piano player was Eric Dix from Mount Pearl, but most of the time when she went on the road, she had musicians from each town play. So she basically hired musicians as she played in each town and gave them a gig.
So did she ever get a good response from audiences outside of Newfoundland and Labrador?
Oh yes, yeah, Mom up in Toronto, and when she went to Nova Scotia, and she was also offered a contract to go to Nashville. They wanted her to go down there, but she didn't take that because she wanted their kids to grow up here in Newfoundland.
So was your mom constantly writing music? Do you ever remember if she had a songbook or something?
She did carry around a songbook that she wrote stuff on. I'm not sure if one of my sisters has it or not, but she did write a lot of stuff towards, when she started writing the parody songs about Newfoundland, where she'd write them all the time. Just as we were driving up to the cabin, she'd come up with a line, she'd pull over on the side of the road and scratch something on the pad, and then carry on and sing our way up to Paddy's Pond.
So what was your earliest memory of your mom singing?
My earliest, going up to the cabin as kids, she would drive us up in the big Pontiac, and she'd just turn on the radio, and whatever song was on there, she'd sing along to it, and we'd sing with her, and it was a lot of fun.
Do you remember any time when your mom would be around the house doing chores and she'd just start break into song?
Oh, she did that all the time. She would crank up other people's music and put a record on. We had the big stereos that 5 records would drop down. No CDs then, and she would put on her favorite albums. She liked a lot of different artists, country artists, and Elvis Presley and all those big stars in the world.
So okay, Tom. Now, why don't you head back over to our sound stage and perform another one of her hits. Once again, folks, to perform the Boardinghouse on Confederation Square, Mr. Tom Morrissey.
I took a bus from Carbonator and landed in St. John's to buy a shirt for Uncle Dick and myself some new boutons. I thought I'd stay a day or two as long as I was there, so I took a room at the boarding house on Federation Square. My friends now had a place to stay, had never seen the likes. There were 32 on welfare there and 7 more on strike. 11 cats and 3 big dogs and old Jack Looney's mare, all staying at the boarding house on Federation Square. Salt beef and new potatoes was for supper there that night. I was dying for another spud, but I was too polite. Go on, says Mrs. Clooney, I'm sure no one here is strange. Go help yourself, there's always more in a pot out on the range. I went out to the Waterloo to pick up the kitchen fork, to stir another tater down amongst the hunks of pork. And as I stirred around a bit, I let out 3 big roars, for in the bottom with the spuds was Mrs. Clooney's drawer. I'll hook 'em out, me dear, she says, and throw 'em in the sink. I'll hang them on the line tonight and hope that they don't shrink. I cook some with the spud, she says, and then I let some drain, for the peels and beats the jabbix now for knocking out the stain. Well, they had a game of 45 that night at 8:30. 3 tables and a priest were there, and we all sat up late. 3 hours was as quiet as the grave before the light. Then on the stroke of midnight, well, they all began to fight. Welfare man, he cheated on a race, and he picked up a damper dog and stuffed it in her face. His wife, she grabbed a boiler full of partridge berry jam and began to glaze her partner like a fancy Easter ham. I finally went up into the bed to get a good night's rest. How foolish was I then to think that I had passed the test. I went to turn out on my side, the mattress it was off, and a spring shot out from underneath and pinned me to the loft. I was hanging from the ceiling like a bell on Christmas Eve, when I looked down upon the sheets, and what did I perceive? A bedbug big as Maury's cat was waiting on the scene, just flicking his antennas like a trout around the stream. Come down, he said, you had your feed, and now it's time for mine. The Lord looks after every little creature in his time. Come down, he said, you lovely legs, you look so nice and large. Come down, you bloody coward, and I'll show you who's in charge. I hardly had to tell you, the next day I left the wreck, but kindly Mrs. Clooney, she refused to take the check. No charge for the first time here, I always says to Jack, but once a person stays with us, we knows that they'll be back. My friends now had a place to stay, had never seen the likes. There were 32 on welfare there and 7 more on strike. 11 cats and 3 big dogs and old Jack Clooney's mare. I'm staying at the boarding house on Federation Square. I'm staying at the boarding house on Federation Square. I'm staying at the boarding house on Federation Square.
Okay, Tom, now it's time to take our famous NL Now selfie. Why don't you grab the stick there and hold it up, okay? Perfect, perfect. Now we have to do another thing that's tradition we do with all our NL Now guests. We're going to play Get to Know Me. I'll ask you 5 questions and you'll come back with the first thing that pops into your head, okay?
Okay.
Favorite food?
French fries.
Favorite movie?
Oh, Goodfellas.
Favorite song to sing out loud to when you're alone in the car?
Band on the Run, Paul McCartney.
Your favorite TV show?
Oh, that's hard. I guess Newfoundland Now.
And your favorite memory that you have about your mom?
My favorite memory I have about my mom. Well, I remember as a kid I was, I believe, 9 or 10 years old, and she was playing in Harbour Grace, and she had a big crowd. They were all waiting to get the record signed, and I couldn't believe they wanted my mom's signature because she was just mom to me, and she stayed there and signed every one of their records, and then I knew she was a star.
Well, thanks again, Tom, for coming in this evening to chat with us and play a couple of songs. Now, why don't we say you do one more song before we close out the show?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Now, here to close out our show with one more song with Thank God We're Surrounded by Water, Mr. Tom Morrissey.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'll tell you a tale about Newfoundland, dear. We haven't got money or riches to spare, but we should be thankful for one small affair. Thank God we're surrounded by water. The sea, oh the sea, the wonderful sea. Long may she roam between people and me. And everyone here should get down on one knee. Thank God we're surrounded by water. Well, the Englishmen came from Land's End to John Groat. They came over to ride our colonial boat. We have 8 million more, but they didn't have boats. Thank God we're surrounded by water. The sea, oh the sea, the wonderful sea. Long may she roam between people and me. And everyone here should get down on one knee. Thank God we're surrounded by water. Now some visitors tasted our Newfoundland screech. They tipped back the bottle, drank 6 ounces each. Well, they let out a yell as they ran for our beach. Thank God we're surrounded by water. The sea, oh the sea, the wonderful sea. Long may she roam between people and me. And everyone here should get down on one knee. Thank God we're surrounded by water. Now the French in Quebec want a separate state, including our own Labrador, just you wait. Well, they came down from Belle Isle, but they can walk our streets. Thank God we're surrounded by water. The sea, oh the sea, the wonderful sea. Long may she roam between people and me. And everyone here should get down on one knee. Thank God we're surrounded by water. Now Bessie Jo Kemp took her horse for a ride. She ripped her old bloomers right up the left side. She hung them to dry on the beach at low tide. Thank God we're surrounded by water. The sea, oh the sea, the wonderful sea. Long may she roam between Bessie and me. And everyone here should get down on one knee. Thank God we're surrounded by water. Now Dwight was God, said the Liberal bunch. One day on our harbour he walked after lunch, but he couldn't quite make that old Galilee stunt. Oh, thank God we're surrounded by water. The sea, oh the sea, the wonderful sea. Long may she roam between people and me. And everyone here should get down on one knee. Thank God we're surrounded by water. The sea, oh the sea, the wonderful sea. Long may she roam between people and me. And everyone here should get down on one knee. Thank God we're surrounded by water. The sea, oh the sea, the wonderful sea. Long may she roam between people and me. And everyone here should get down on one knee. Then thank God we're surrounded by water.